Hello and welcome back. This is day 298 of streaming every single day and our 56th art stream. Today we're going to be doing an art study, albeit a very minor one and not professional one because I have not gone to an art school or anything, so I wouldn't consider it professional. So don't judge me if I have any weird ways of studying art. Hello guys. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello Munchkin Crow. I hope you are well today. I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it. Hello, Rio. Hope you're doing well. I actually chose from 3 specific VTubers. It was very hard to narrow it down, but I don't want to look into too many styles in one day. I don't even know if I'm gonna get through them all. But I'm trying to figure out what kind of style I should go for Alfina, and I think it's going to be really interesting because I've seen so many different VTube models, right? And it's really hard to narrow it down to what kind of look I'm going for in the rendering style. So that's what I've been looking into today. So we will be looking into. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, Rio. Okay, so we have 2 tabs today. This is where we're going to be working on ours. We have our outfit right here. And then this one, we have 3 we chose. We have Merryweather here. I have their names, the names of their official channels here. But unfortunately, I apologize for this, but I do not know any of the artists that made these. Besides Hanacue, I know hers, obviously, was her. She had it on a video recording. Let's go to hers real quick. Hanacue, I tried to find a clip where she was actually working on the hair, because I really like the way she does the hair. I do not think I will be able to replicate that at all, but I really admire the way that she does it. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get some kind of look like that. Yeah, this is Hanacue. I recommend you check her channel out as well. This is Nemui Asaha. His name in Japanese, though, is Asaha Nemui. I really like the way that his artist did the eyes, though. And that's something that I actually really want to go for, is something about how the way they did the eyes. I have an idea of how that might go. But then we have Merryweather's. I really like a lot about his model. I liked this one because, I feel like he was very expressive with this one. I feel like it was really good for that, but I also really like the detail that went into his newer model. And he even has a new one, even recently. But I really like a lot of stuff that's going on, like the way they rendered his outfit. Again, I don't know the artists that did Nemui's or Merryweather's, but I know that Hanacue did hers. She has a whole video on that. She actually has 3 videos on that, actually. Just the drawing, the rigging process, and toggles and everything. It's crazy. There's a lot of work that goes into these. So that's why I thought it might be kind of cool if I streamed kind of some of the process of trying to replicate kind of parts of an art style, because I don't want to go for one specific style. I like certain parts of VTube models, and other parts sometimes I don't like. And that's why I had to narrow it down to 3 models, because while there are a lot of different ones that I do like, these ones are kind of closer to the targeted style that I'm going for, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's get started. I'm not even sure where to start with Mary's because I like a lot about the style here. The hair, I really like how detailed the hair was up here. You can see with this one, there's a little bit less detail up here. But I also like how they blended it with the ears. I think it works. I really like the eyes though, how they have the blue right here. I think that's gonna be something I might try to do with mine. Oops, I just accidentally scrolled down. And then hairstyle, again, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this one because of the colors. I have a lot more stuff to work on with my art stuff if you guys can't tell. Like, even just the way she does her outfit stuff is amazing. Like, I cannot believe how good this is. Like, and also, fun fact, I think I was talking about it last art stream, but Hanacue is the first person I found when I was figuring out what VTubers were. So she was essentially like my introduction to VTubers. I believe it was like a week or so after she had released her first video, I found her channel. So I've been following her for a while now, and I thought it was crazy, like just seeing how much work goes into this. She had done like 2 or 3 models before she even got to her own. That was crazy. It took a long time. And then I have an idea of how to do this, but so I'm not sure which one to work with first, but since I do have an idea, I might work with something about the eyes first. I think what we need to start with is something that... Something... It's hard to know where to start. Okay, I need like a side-by-side. I need a side-by-side. Can I just like take one of these here? I took screenshots of these. That also might not be the best one to choose, actually. Considering we're just trying to narrow it down to one per one, I think we should do this, and then go back here. Essentially with art studies, you're trying to like replicate a similar effect to what another artist has done. So I just need to figure out... And it's probably going to be very different, by the way, because I'm not exactly a professional artist or anything. I just do it for fun. I just need to figure out, like, a style that I like to do stuff in. I think I should already practice with something already close to what Alfie's eyes look like. I think it's like the multicolor layering that they do that it really sells the effect of the eyes. Also, sorry if you guys hear Zero barking in the background. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm off to a really slow start. It took me a while to prepare everything, and then I couldn't even find the artist afterwards, so that's great. Okay, we have a basic eye shape. For the sake of studying this, I'm going to do each part on a different layer, which is typically how you do with VTube stuff too, depending on which parts you want to move separately. I want to say... Actually, see, the crazy part about this one too is we might need... We are going to have to choose a different color for this. Alfie's eyes are red, kind of pinkish. Yeah, he has some type of, like, multicoloring in there. I have to choose, like, some type of quote-unquote equivalent color to what I'm going for. It can't be too close, it can't be too far. This is going to be difficult. I'm also not sure how long we're going to get to stream today, so I feel bad for that as well. I wanted to have, like, the proper names of their channels, on stream. But then I realized I was going to be working on this one. Could have brought the names over here, I guess. Okay, actually, I have an idea. But this is going to be interesting. So he has like a bluish purple. He has blue there. Blue and then purple. and pink. So what does that mean for our colors? It means I have to think of like an in-between, which is actually kind of difficult. Oh, wait a second. I just realized that too. So Alfie has more of like anime eyes-ish, I guess. Like, I should just say anime because of this part right here, how wide it is. I feel like our eyes don't naturally go in this shape. Okay, so that might change things a little bit. That might change things a little bit. I'm a little bit stumped, but I'd at least have a better idea of what I'd be doing with this one. So if you have an eye like this, I want to make it too big. To keep in mind her eyes are more open. Do this. This is what I mean, don't judge me guys if I have like some roundabout way of learning art styles. I don't know the proper way to learn them. I think we should at least have our base color down. And I suppose for this we might want... Oh, I just realized he even has a hot pink there. He has like 4 colors in there. That's crazy. I wish I could find the artist for them. Artist name. It's likely in Japanese somewhere, but I couldn't find it. Due to my schedule being the way it is, I've been able to find and watch different streamers and VTubers. This is one of them. Oh yeah, it also helps too, because I like to sometimes watch Merryweather. A lot of the times I wasn't able to watch his stuff because of my schedule being completely different. Now I actually think I probably would be able to watch some of the streams, which makes me happy. I feel like a lot of the time when I had my last schedule, I'd be doing my own streams and I would not be able to tune into any of my friends' streams. And that made me feel bad. Now, I do have enough time to do that. I do think we should make the pupil darker than the shade up here. Because I believe that's how it is. I don't know if that's exactly center though, so we'll fix that real quick. Oh, and that, what the heck? This is going to be very interesting. I don't know what I'm doing from this point on, so bear with me. There's a color behind the eye. I'm trying to think. He has a very bright pink. Very bright purple, sorry, and then a pinkish purple on the outside. It's almost magenta, so what would the equivalent be in this case? Because I feel like it's kind of like if the light of your character's eye were to like reflect back onto the sclera of your eye. So I'm wondering if it's that kind of thing? Because I could try light pink then, but I'm unsure how that will look. But that's also why we're studying this in the first place. think it's something like that. And then it could be like a blur or possibly a blend on the outside of that. I tried to get a good shot, but honestly, I had a hard time with that. It could be more of a blur, yeah. As you guys can see, it's not the highest quality, highest resolution screenshot you guys have seen. I think this is a trust the process thing, possibly. Um, okay, I think it would have helped me if I had done, like, this color all the way to the outside, too. I might need to start naming some of these layers real quick. Give me a second. Actually, I'm not sure if we should do the main eye color as red or pink. Because we might want the accent to be pink. Or do we want the accent to be red? No, I'm not sure. Actually, what layer is this that I'm on? It's not, like, changing anything. Oh, it was probably the next layer I was about to do. Okay. Okay, so now that I colored that part... Actually, that is crazy. I can't see the rest of the eye up there, so I don't know. There might be something extra that I'm not seeing. I don't think I got a picture where the eye was more open. We will move on to the next step regardless. I think this might be too dull here. Oh, we had this color. That's right. I wonder if this would be the right color, the right shade to use here. I think it looks nice. It's like a really thin layer. I don't think it's just an effect. I think it's something the artist did. I don't think it's like a filter or anything. I like how it almost looks like the rainbow effect, I guess. Doesn't look that bad. Mine, I mean. I don't know if you'd blur the top part or possibly blend it. Maybe blend it a little bit. Not sure. No, that is definitely not the right one. I think the blur might have been a better option for this. I feel like something just kind of goes away when you do that. Like clarity? I think if I had drawn more of it up here, then that would probably fix it a little bit. Wait. Okay. I think I just noticed something. If it's what I think it is, then I will be pointing that out in a second. Okay, so something leads me to believe that that darker shade is some form or somewhere on the blue side to help blend that. In which case, I might want to go with the dark red to help blend it. In fact, I might want to put them on the same layer. Maybe we want it to be hardly able to tell that it's red. In which case, maybe something like this helps. And while we could technically do like a masking layer, I think that kind of ruins the purpose of what I'm trying to do. So I need to be able to have this practice to draw within the lines without using masking layer. I think it will help me a lot in my art stuff, so... This is definitely looking better. I would have thought to use the color I had before as shading for the eye, but I think this one is a lot more colorful of a shade. Quite literally. I think that is better, actually. I think I have those in the same layers. Yes. So now we can try the blur thing. I just hope it doesn't mess up the layer below it. I think I need to choose another color other than red for this. That'll be something to think about. Okay, so if not that... Yeah, because blue and purple are close. They're kind of similar. But then what color would I use for this? It wouldn't be pink, right? I think that'd be pretty close to that. I don't know. Because this kind of matters on... This is why I mentioned, like, it kind of matters, like, the main color being established is supposed to be red. But if red is the color I'm choosing, then what would be the closest color to that? Because that might make this a lot easier. If I establish her eyes as red rather than pink. We could try the swap real quick with the masking tool just this once. I probably want to do a deep red. Like, I want to go for a deep red. This one, I don't think it's wrong the color we have up here. I think this is completely fine. I would like to save these colors real quick. And then we're just gonna contemplate here what needs to be done to change this. Because if they went back, so maybe it would be pink if I did red. That means it probably would have been purple if I did pink eyes, right? They have like a really intense, like, purple on the bluer side. Like that, pretty much. More like this. Yeah, almost that, almost that. So they have a purple. And then they have this blue fade. It is a deep blue too, but I think that might just be more than, just that color that we're seeing there. It does have an interesting effect, doesn't it? Maybe it's because of how thin it is too. I think we need to keep that in mind. Can make it not as thick. You might even want to move this layer down a bit. Just for the sake of that. It doesn't need to look perfect, but I'm just trying to see what kind of thing we're looking for, because if you're going backwards a color, then that makes me think that the pink would be going into a purple there. If they chose purple and then went to a bluish. It's clearly a stylistic choice. I really like it though, and I wish I could get it similar. I think that pink is way too... Think how dark it is. Actually, if we go for the blue that's here, if we change that to pink, it'd be a very bright pink. I wonder if that's the right way to go. I wonder. I did edit the shade a little bit, because I think this one would be more... Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if it's the effect we're going for. Might need to work on this one more. Definitely does something, but I'm not sure what. We should fade the actual red up here too, just so it's... There we go. I wonder. I feel like there's a point when the color looks more... Like, it looks like it's still there. It doesn't look like it's a ghost, like a ghosted layer. It looks like the color's still there, so I think I need to go really thin. Just some of it is blended. If that makes any sense. I think what I need to do is blend a little bit and go down. And we can remove any excess from the outside. Oh, and including that kind of mess up. And then I think we can go really small with this here. Just making sure this part is kind of blended in. If we can manage to do that, that is, without messing the whole thing up, then it would be nice. Sorry guys, this might take me a few attempts of trying to figure it out. I think something like that is what they're doing. But with mine, it's very much more noticeable. Meanwhile, I think the effect usually comes from having a color very similar to it. In which case... Oh, we could do that. Hang on a second. Oh, but I didn't make that on a specific layer, so I couldn't just mask layer that one. If I go for color more like this, it might be better. Kind of like what we originally went for, actually. But for the, like, actual base, we had done this color or something similar. That's not as dark. We need something darker. You don't need it to be neon. You need it to be, like... Well, actually... No, it was neon. Oh, yeah, see, because then I could do the deep red, but then I can still have the kind of pink look that I wanted. I just think it's not the same thing, though, as when you have, like, the two colors they chose, the artist chose for that. Because theirs looks really good, but I also don't think it helps that I don't know what I'm doing. I think that does look better than the last thing we had, though. Okay, so... I think we have the general principle down, but also I see that they... Huh. I just noticed something. I'm gonna save this color, by the way. Oh, that's on a masking layer. That's great. Well, then I could have just done this. Wait, no? Never mind. Okay, we have that stuff there, and then... Yeah, they have more of a different shape. Where is this? If we were to make this go down more... I don't know if it's because of the eye in general, but I think this could be a part of a stylistic choice as well. So might as well try to accurately represent that. And we have the colors that we had. What is this one? Okay. Keep that on. We're gonna erase this whole layer. We're gonna redo that. So I think I have an idea now. I think I have an idea now. You know, I could just do that, I guess, but don't exactly want to, but I could. I could just do this. Is what I was thinking. But it doesn't exactly help me when I'm trying to, like, blend things around. It doesn't work the same way like this. Well, it does get the job done. I want to say these are two different colors here. They are. That one's more dark, so for ours we should probably do a darker one for the pupil. Without it being too dark. Or without color. It is very close to black. But theirs is not black. You can still see the semblance of the color in it. So I'm thinking maybe we should go for that with our thing as well. Maybe that's what we should do with the shade too. A little bit lighter. Yeah, that might be better. Oh, wait. Let's redo that part, and then we have this here for our new color. And this for the pupil. They're slightly different. So actually, I'm curious about this now. So if they went for a purple and went to the right over here, they went counterclockwise for the blue. I wonder, because they have like a pink, do you go clockwise for the thing on the side? Outside? Wait, I just realized. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so if we did this color, for instance, would we do a lighter version like this on the outside? Would we do something like that? Because it's backwards. It would make sense. It actually would. I think I also need to tone down the thing a little bit too. I think it's much easier to tell now, so let me turn some of this down. This is blend, right? Yeah. Okay. This might just be an eye study today. Let me do... oh, that's why it's not working. Hang on. We need to do this. Okay, that's much better. Actually working now? So we had gone too far out with it, I think. While we still want the blur to be there, you'd also want... You don't want it bleeding out too much. Looks a lot crazier with red eyes, so... So at least with, Nemui's, his are a calming color. But my character has bright red eyes. It makes her look more crazy. So I need to tone that down a little bit. I think that's somewhat better. think we need to reestablish the blur now, though, on the outside. Okay, that's a little bit better, I think. Oh yeah, so layer 11 now is like just colors. I don't know if I should just call it that or I suppose we should still use it. We'll just like take whatever's on it off. We'll put that above everything. Layer 11 will be normal again. Okay, so now I probably won't copy whatever highlights they're trying to do here, but I do like kind of what it looks like too. I'm curious if we should work on this part first though. And I think they have the same color on the outside as on the inside here. I could be wrong though. I'm actually not sure what color to go with here. I honestly want to lean towards a bluish white for this. Or do transparent layer? Just for the sake of the art study, I'm going to continue with this kind of thing. They probably do it different, depending on like what different VTubers they do too, so. And like I said, I'm not going to be finalizing anything like this, but I just want more practice in rendering, and I think that they have some pretty cool styles. So that's why I went with this one. Okay, so I think we should have something below this one. Darn it, wait, did I... Yeah, I don't have an answer for that right now, though. Unfortunately. Darn it, this is gonna be interesting. I don't remember exactly the color we went for, but that might have been it. I think it's just throwing me off because of the transparent layer. In which case... let me just... Is this layer now? So we can turn this one back up then. Slightly better. I just like to put this here. We could just put it on layer 10, I guess. I have a feeling that this extends further out, though. Welcome back, welcome back. See here, I think it was layer 10 we were gonna do it on. Man, this is difficult. Actually, wait, this might work. Hang on. Wait a minute. This might work. I just thought of something. You guys don't happen to hear all the squeaking in the background, do you? Zero is like squeaking one of his toys so loud outside my door. Oh my goodness. I think he knows exactly what he's doing too. He stops every time I mention it and then he just keeps going again. It sounds very funny. Squeaking? Yeah, he's squeaking one of his toys. It just sounds so funny though. Because I don't know if you guys can hear him, but... No, I have a dog. He's squeaking his toy. He's not a rat. He's squeaking a squeaker toy. Oh my gosh. I don't know which one, but I think it might be his ducky. He's running around with it. Now that you say it, I heard it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He sounds so funny. LMAO, he's a big puppy. Yeah, he is. Hey, squeaking can be many things. Yeah, true, but, yeah. He's having a blast at your expense, Alfie. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, by all means. I'm sure he creates an entertaining environment for anyone watching. There are some people that specifically just watch, like, random stream bloopers. And I would count Zero running around squeaking as a blooper, so... But also it's funny, because he just does that, so... And it's not like it's a mess up on my part, it's just Zero having fun. He just went right to my door to do that. He could be protesting that I'm streaming right now. You know, even if this isn't exactly how I should be doing the stylized thing, I actually think I kind of like the results so far. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm gonna round this part here. Make it look nice. Yeah. There we go. Oh, I did just realize we did use the wrong color there, but it's alright. We could just redo that. Is it supposed to be this color though? I just don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Let me just redraw that. If it will undo that far, because I might have gone too far. Okay, there we go. I think we could combine it here. Looks like they let it combine like a little bit right here in this part of the picture. So, wait, that's the blur, that's why I couldn't do it. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a spot where the blue does seem to touch right here. So we will try. I think making it thinner is going to kind of help with the effect that is supposed to be happening. Like a really thin line. So please, 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 please stay thin over here. Please. Let me thin this line out a little bit because I like how the other one turned out. Uh-oh. Keyboard was flickering for a second. Okay. So I want to zoom in more, but I still want to have the reference in view. Can you make this side just slightly thicker? I didn't let it touch the outside part, so we won't either. I don't know if we did that right. But I think it looks better than the last time we tried this. Last version. I don't know, does it look right, guys? I'm gonna redo that a little bit. I think I can see part of the red popping through. Yes, I can. Maybe that's part of the effect, though. I'm not sure. I feel like it's really hard to see. Maybe for the color I needed to go more dark. Now that we have this on its own little layer, this part here, I think we can try... Oh, hang on. We could try a different color that's darker too. I could just mask this layer now. Try different colors. If I'm not on the blur tool. It's too dark. Not sure if you want it to be more circle or egg-shaped, but I say slightly egg-shaped. Yeah, no. The shape isn't what I'm looking for. It's the color. I'm trying to figure out the color difference because even though I like looked at the colors they chose, there's something about the colors they chose that are just very harmonious, and it's probably part of color theory, but I kind of suck at that. So I'm not sure what color to go with here. But it might be a darker color, it might not. It kind of has like this glitchy effect, if you guys see what I'm talking about. It's this effect here. I can make the colors apart where this is blue around this part, around the black part. And then there's a purple inside. And then they have a different effect going on with like this magenta around the entire iris and over like the stuff here, the highlights. And I'm trying to like replicate something similar, but I just can't exactly get the same thing. So I'm not exactly sure. It has to do with color theory for sure. I just don't think purple's the right color for that. There's no way, right? Because if I had to go, I was trying pink and pink wasn't working. This doesn't exactly look right either, does it? Even if I took the color they did here, the darkest color there, and turned it back this way, that's just almost the same color I already had. It's supposed to be a shadow. Well, the top part is, but this part isn't. It's like, it's an effect. I'm gonna try something different. Yeah, I mean the top part. Yeah, no, I mean the part that connects the two. So, the thing about VTube models, is when people make them, like, each part is animated a certain way, and it's not just like a solid shadow. They drew each part of this to resemble a different part. So even if it's supposed to be considered like a shadow, there's still a lighting effect there going on. And to properly create that, you have to have the same kind of knowledge to create the effect that they created. If that makes sense. In short, it's not just a shadow, it's something that the artist employed a technique of to make it look like, kind of like if you, I don't know how to describe this, but kind of like, I think the TikTok logo is a good example. How they have the white, the red, the green, causing that effect around the symbol for TikTok or whatever. That is the same kind of, effect that's going on with the eye. It's the same kind of effect. It's kind of like it almost looks like a little bit like retro. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm trying to figure out how to employ the same kind of technique, but with a different color. And that's what I'm struggling to do. So I don't know what color I'd be using. And because of that, I can't figure it out. I also might have to dissipate it more. It might be too thick. Yeah, sorry if I fail to explain that, because it's very hard to explain. I might just need to cover it more like this. Because it does look very natural. It's a very natural fade up there that you're seeing. And they also have some of the main color leaking outside. They have some of this color leaking out. I just realized I never saved that color, so that's great. They have some of the main color like kind of leaking out up here. What is going on? That is... Oh, that's because of the masking there. So if you have a layer over these, not with masking, you're taking this part too, and they definitely fade this one, or they blend it in some way. think they probably blended it. You guys can see that? I got something like this going on, but it's just really hard. I've also tried to do, the tutorial that Hanacue had for, eyes before. I really admire her style as well in that. Also, I might close down the eyelid a little bit on this just to see what it would look like. Because I think it's hard because I chose a different shape, different style, different overall color. I don't know, it's really hard. I essentially chose hard mode. What I should try to do is recreate the actual eye. Because maybe that would give me more insight. We do have this, though, so I am happy that we got a little bit. Let's take this part. You find each part that has, like, a color on it. This one. This one. This one. That might be all of them. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to... Oh. Okay, we'll just move this over. Wait, what? I didn't take all of them. I'm supposed to take all of them. Where are these guys attached? Confusing. No, wait, literally, where do they... Oh, okay. Okay, we got that out of the way. I think we're gonna move this thing real quick. Let's put it all under the folder we have. We don't have one yet. Let's make one. We're going to move everything here into a folder. Oh wait, not this one. And then right in here, I would like to move the entire thing. And then we're gonna try to recreate what they did. You know, it was really easy to see on my TV. It's hard to see in screenshots. Because it was very high definition, and it was the first time I could actually really see kind of what they were doing with that. This is going to be interesting now, though. Need a new layer onto this. Okay. This is going to be interesting. This is not what I saw myself doing today. Let's see here. Doesn't have to be exact to the eye shape, I guess, but I want it to be at least close for the inside of the eye shape. I think what they have going on with the eyelashes too, but that's harder to tell, I think. The colors they have there are very subtle, but I do like it. But because of its subtlety, I think that's what will make it harder to recreate. That's why I like just this part right here being so subtle will change a lot. Oh, wait, that's interesting. I just caught on to something I didn't notice before. I'm gonna have to do really thin for this. I'm noticing a little bit. So I noticed they have a really detailed model just in this part right here, how they have like the whole separation here. Whoever did their model is amazing at this. Holy moly. Because yeah, they have like this whole section here essentially. And that's gonna be really hard. I need to take a moment to pause. I just need the overall shape. It would be nice if I could try to recreate the other part of this too. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that much. Very thin, very thin. Very, very thin. I think depth is going to be the hardest part. So that could be what's messing up mine. Holy moly, this is interesting. Getting to look at the model more is revealing more insight. By model, I mean just this photo alone and all the little details they have. And you know what I just noticed? It's not even closed as much as it should be. So we're gonna edit that. Hmm. This is very important as to where the eye is going to sit. So I think that will give us a main cue for that. It's time to start naming these because these are gonna get very hard to understand. You know, they might have done some of these on the same layers though, so that could be part of my problem, is not doing them on the same layers. But we'll see how far we get. Also, I kind of really like that they chose a really close color to the whitest white, or possibly is the whitest white. Just to match with, like, it matches really well with the skin at that point. So, I don't know, I think they just have a really good look. That's gonna be something to keep in mind for our recreation. I'm also gonna draw the skin part now, I think, probably. Just so part of the eye doesn't start, like, coming out of the whole thing. It'll look a little bit less messy, like what happened here. So let's fix that real quick. Again, it's a very, very light skin color. Almost that, but almost more blue, I want to say? Which kind of sounds crazy, because you can't really... Is it more yellowish? No. It's not bluish. Too white there. Oh? Really? It is bluish, what? What the heck? Blue-ish. I think it might be... Can we almost find the exact color? I think it is a blue. Or very close to one. It's actually crazy though. Try to find a similar color at least. So I almost had a very similar color and now I can't find it. I just can't believe it wasn't one of these. Darn it, what color was it? I could just see this, I guess. Oh, it was in there. Huh. Okay, well, that's insane. Oh, that means I did have it at one point. It's so close to the white. In fact, the white inside the eyes might be the whitest white. Just seeing what color this was. I'm gonna turn this one off real quick, just to see this. I'm gonna make this part bow out a little bit, and then... Move this part. That's at least similar now. I just can't believe that I was right about the being probably a blue. Just because of how white it is. This is what I mean about how important color theory is, though. It's in a lot of things. And even this, I really don't want to do a masking layer for this one, so I'm gonna try not to. Is this also? Oh. That's interesting. It was in this range. It was also a blue. It's not the whitest white. I want to know how they blended it so well, though. I feel like watching artists render things is just like crazy. And that might sound funny coming from someone who does art, but I really don't render things. So I'm not used to that type of thing. I'm just used to sketching and concepts. So sometimes, like, occasionally, I'll, like, get into my own projects where I'll end up, like, rendering things. Like the stream when I was doing one of the axolotl twins. But other than that, it's not that common for me to do. That's why I think, like, making a VTube model would be very, very big step up for me. And to reduce some of the stress of going through it, I think that this kind of helps me prepare for it a little bit. It's almost like a purple black. I think that's pretty much the color. I should make this thinner, like way thinner. So what I was saying about this part right here is this is where the pupil was, or the iris was sitting. It's better to color the whole thing one thing first and then go over with another color, and then they have a little bit of space right there. Something like that, but not as bowed out, so I might need to fix that a little bit. It's more slim. No, more slim, like remove the big part of this. You know, they likely drew this in like the entire circle that it is, which certainly helps. I think I have it slightly off in position. So we can move it this way, and then let's see this real quick. I think that's better. Where's this one? I think this should be this layer. Yes, it is. I feel like I messed up part of this layer though. See, the layer's a little bit thicker there, but I did it really thin. Yes. I'm also noticing something else we can fix here. I think this part needs to be more curved. This part needs to be more curved. There we go. Okay, I see something else. I see something else. Okay. I need to figure out how to address this. I need to at least move this part. The eye is even thinner than that. Technically, it would help me if I did find a version where, what's it called? Where the eye was like fully open. Because the eye will open as much as the user, opens their eyes. I think this was during a moment he was like smiling. So that could have an effect. Okay. I think I can continue on in peace now. Without that weighing on my mind. I don't feel like it would have been big enough of a issue for me to not be able to do the rest of the inside, but it definitely helps with the accuracy, I think. There it is. And then... Okay, so I want to figure out what exactly it could be, because they could have had the base color as the really deep part, or they could have had it as the really dark part, like what I did. And I typically start with the dark part when in my art process with eyes, but I'm not sure whatever the artist's process was. I think it would do us well if we started trying to look for a color. I want to try to find most of the colors just like this. I think it's more on a blue side though. Maybe more pink? No. It's already over that. Too dark. Too bright. Perhaps too vibrant. It's almost this color. It's very close. Okay, we got a color that's very close to it. I still think this is a matter of color theory. It starts really low, like this, and goes up and arches over here. It goes up further than that, though. It's like a half circle to fit the way that the eye works, I believe. And then they end it even before it reaches the outside there. Wonder if that's because of the way he was looking. That part might move then separately. That gives me some insight there. It's too out this way. And then it's too much this way. But I also think it rises quicker. Should be right about... I feel like I'm taking way longer than I should on an art study. But I guess it sometimes takes people longer than others to figure things out. Especially when I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna put this color on the actual color layer like it's supposed to be. Okay. This is going to be interesting. I'm thinking that they lightly blurred this. And then put something over. Not masking layer. With that really deep blue color. Let me see this. Some parts it looks like this color, but I think it was actually really deep. Color that they chose. Something more like this. Possibly even closer to this color. I think they set it right on top of where the other one is. I am noticing something else too. They were doing it around the pupil as well, which is, like I was trying to say earlier, a darker color than this. So let's do that real quick. That's too dark now. It's interesting. Is it more gray? It's closer now? So it's a grayish. I don't want to end up not being a color, so I'm just gonna stick with that one. Because the closest we could find. I'll do this one over this right here. Too high up. Oh, hang on. Okay, I have an idea. It was still not right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that means we're going to redraw the other part. Let's cut back on this a little bit. Because it's not the right thickness. Similar shape, but not the right thickness. Okay, now that that's settled. Yeah, we have to redo this part now. I am just going to erase this part, and then I'm just glad we found the colors are similar, I guess. I think we have an idea of what's going on as well now. It's a high rise like this. Continues going up and past here. And then we have this part. which we just had erased. But instead we're gonna go with this part right here. Pupil. So that's what made us realize in the first place. Trying to figure out how much to erase. It's really hard. How do they get that circle so, like, circle? It's crazy. Just cut off some of the edges here and try to... Oh, no, no, no. Okay, that's better. I did just realize something again. Okay, it's because we had changed the size again, we had to do this. Because there's still, like, that incline here. Okay, that's slightly better, I think. Oh yeah, I have to make this one small. I think my theory was that they blurred this part, just the edge of this. And then using another layer over top, possibly, or maybe even below. Actually, that might be what they did. But of course, I wouldn't be able to do a masking layer here then, which isn't too big of a problem. We can just fix that down there. And right there, that actually might be. That might be. So if we put it below, what happens? Hmm. Hmm. Is it more blue than that? It's almost more purpley. Not that dark. I think this is what they did. I think they put it behind, thus making it show up differently. And why in some parts it looks a little bit different. Huh. I'm gonna try to put one over the layer as well. Wait, why is it over the pupil? Where is the pupil? Did I draw on the pupils? One. Wait. Oh, layer 17 is the pupil, so I don't want to draw it on that one. Draw it over layer 16. Let me just rename this pupil so I know for future reference. I'm just not sure if there's a need to blend it around like this. It does have that blurry effect though about it. Still not sure how they did that. It's almost like multiply or something. Or like they did multiply the layer with another effect. So that's way toned down right there. But they also like blended it into the back of this part as well. So let me reapply this and then try again. It's almost like they blended it with up here a little bit. But I'm not sure, because we didn't do a layer above that, remember? It's a layer below. I mean, I might not be able to get that same effect now. That's what I meant about keeping them all, like, on the same layer. So if what happens if I merge those? Okay, so we have that merged now. Problem is... Can't just do that, though. Technically we could, but it would just not be as good, I guess. Okay, so then if we put this above this layer, we can better follow it now. I just find it so hard. Because, you know, they could have just done it all on one layer for that part of the eye. Which would make sense if this is how they did it. But also, fun fact about VTubers, VTube avatars, is when the art is finished, you do merge a lot of the art layers together. Any part that you want to move with a certain other part, you're gonna want merged together. Anything you want to move separately, I'm pretty sure you don't have merged together. And when I say merged, I mean like the line art and the colors and the rendering, that all of a component stays merged. So now we can see if maybe this is something they might have did. Not that. Oh, we have to combine them in the same layer. What am I thinking? Okay, that definitely seems more likely. I think I just can't do blend now, because when I do blend, it might show the background of it. Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. It's not doing that. Looks like there's still something more that we don't know that was done to create the effect, but for the most part, I'd say that's a pretty good go at it. Except the fact that we didn't do it like exact to the sizing, is it? Let me do this. Yeah, I can't edit it as easily now because of the changes we have made, but essentially this part right here. At least it's easier to change that now, actually. This is easier. Could be more thin than that, too. Don't want to lose the color there. So I could have went back and added some stuff like that. Because manual coloring is a thing for this. I've just been doing this tool because it makes it a little bit easier. think one of the in-between colors we can do. I want to try that manual painting way. It's just very hard, as you can see. I don't want to blend it though, not blur. I think that does a better job. Okay, so moving on from that part. That is not a color. That's not the right color. Um, it's crazy. It's just making all these colors look yellow. This might be the closest we can get to it. Too far up. More like this. More like a cradle too, I think. Crescent. Oh, I just realized I can't, that'll be interesting. I can't erase that. Help! I'll draw this part on another layer. If I erased that, it would have just revealed just the white behind the eye. Because we merged all those layers. So notice this part, how close it is here. Hang on a second. We need to use the transform tool. If we can get it to work. I notice the eyes are shut even more than we have them. But that's alright. I think we can work with this. think it arches up like this, probably. Kind of reminds me of like Pokemon style of eyes. But we might have to put this on the other layer, merge it, because some of the things I do with this. For one, it's blurred. I think I can tell that much. Just the edges are blurred of this. And then they have that really bright, like, magenta. If you guys can see that. It's almost, yeah, it's almost like this. I think it's the same one they used there, but maybe more dulled. This one's more vibrant. It's just very slight and more on the purplish side, like, yeah, this. Maybe not the same one as that one, but... I think there's a very little amount of this color here. But on this side, you can see it is one of the more main colors popping out. I don't think blend works very well in this way. So I'm going to blur it instead. I don't know if maybe doing a larger blur might help. Gotta be careful with it though. We don't mess up the surrounding stuff. Let me go with blend real quick, just to blend a little bit of this part. I think we're gonna go around the pupil and blur it just barely as well. There we go. So I'm seeing an in-between color here. We might need to use. It's more on the blue side though. More on the blue side. Yeah, like that. We need to do this. This one is more of a grayish. I won't do that one yet. Wait, hang on. It is more of a in-between color. You don't want it to be completely visible, but you want it to be more like that. They somehow got a very good effect out of that. I think mine is too close together with the shapes and figure. So I think if I did something more like that, it might have a better result. Oh, hang on a second. The other color is more like the blue we were dealing with. Okay. So we're gonna turn this one more blue. So we're going to do this and long one, short one, long one, long one, and then we're gonna blur it first. And if it messes up the outside of the eye, then we'll fix that up after. And then we'll just blend it from here to mix around the colors. Fix it a little bit. And then we'll repaint certain parts that get the wrong color. What happened here? It's very difficult doing it on one layer. We're close, we're close. And I think even if we can get close, then I think we can call it. It's a very thin layer on the outside. Pink. I should technically just do it behind this layer, but I think I'm just gonna do it all on this one layer, like we've been doing. Oh, hang on, I have an idea. That's better. Perhaps that's what they did with the other layers, too. Huh. I still made the pupil a little bit wider than it should be, but at least if I was trying to do a 1-to-1. Oh, this one wasn't even on the same layer. Interesting. Need to fix that part now, real quick. Okay, better. There's something I'm noticing. I'll probably do it over this layer. It's a very light color like what we chose before for this part right here. But up here. Need to blend just a little bit. I can tell it's more like this way. And then like that. But then it goes a little bit more like this here. We should blend that in. I feel like I made it way too hard to see with the blend tool. It might not be the best thing. I don't know if I should have gone smaller for the blend tool or like this maybe. It's gonna take significantly longer that way. If it turns out better, then I don't mind. Okay, that's somewhat better actually. A little bit brighter. At least you can see the color now. This is so interesting. I want to assume this is just... Oh, it's not. Is it like... Yes. Um... Yes, it's one of these. I can hardly tell the difference, but I know there is a difference. Crap, what layer was I on? I think it was this one. They have a little tiny one here. I think this one's more clearly blurred. And they have another bigger one right here. This one is just slightly blurred. And that is pretty much my attempt at making it. But now do you guys see what I mean by it's a lot more than just a simple shadow? Because the artist had to put the blues in there, they had to put the pink in there, they had to put the slight teal in there. Like, seriously, there's a lot of colors in here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do want to try to see if I can replicate, like, what they did with the skin there, but I think that might be a little bit hard. I think this was the skin color. It's just very hard to tell. It'll be very hard. I can hardly see the difference between the skin color and I also really stink at like skin color stuff, so this probably wouldn't turn out as good or as close. But I would like to try if I can. I won't be streaming much longer tonight just because I do have to go to bed really soon. But I would like to try if I could. We could try a little bit tonight. I think they did a lot of manual coloring here. Is one of the things I'll say. Because I noticed there's like this slow gradation here. Like, there is something going on. Like this. Other than that, they mixed some very few colors that had this nice slow gradation, which is really nice. We need a different lighter color right here. Like that. Just look how dark it gets here. This is a very dark spot. It's pretty much the whole way through. Probably won't get to do like the eyelashes or whatever today, but maybe next time we do this, we could. Some more on the pink side. More this. Even more like that. I'll just go with that, even though it's not the same. And then essentially you could blur a little bit, but you really want to just blend this. If it would actually blend the right spot, what the heck is going on? It was taking from the wrong color over here. Like even now, it's still taking from the wrong color. Pretty much that, and then blur the outside here. But then I think blending towards the outside will be nice. If we can get it correctly. Maybe not. See, because we don't want all that white coming in here. That's what happens when you blend too much. You use the blend tool too much. You have to do it as in little streaks as possible, I feel like. More like that. These colors I don't really mind not being like exact or whatever. So I will just do this however I think it might be. Wish this part wouldn't get so weird though. This part should be like able to blend, and it's not really like blending very well. I think we just went real. See, because even if we go further in here, it still has that little gap right there for some reason. I'd like to erase as much as I can of this right here. There we go. Slightly better. I'll just focus on this part out here. Blurring this part. Blend a little bit. Almost finished. I'm gonna take from this color. I'm just gonna like paint over this a little bit because it's got messed up from the blending earlier. That's what I was trying to say about like blending too much. I'm gonna fade those in a little bit and then very minimal blending just to make sure that it's still keeping its colors. We might try the eyelashes in another time, but I think this will be it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Once again, we can put these up real quick for the names of the people who have these avatars. But yeah, next time I need to find the artists who made them, if anyone's curious about that. But yeah, today we are working on trying to figure out or study the art style behind who did Asaha Nemui's VTube model. And next time we might work on possibly Hanacue's style. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is day 298 of streaming every single day, and our 56th art stream. Have a wonderful night, everyone. I'll see you all in the next one. Later.